Okay, my name is Tim. Welcome to Little Steps. Today we're going to cover just a little bit of information about how to use the interface for the Listia website. If you haven't already gone and seen it, I will place the link for the basic sign up, sign in, and the interface for the Listia website. In the lesson today, we're going to cover a little bit more about how to gather a little information and post your own items to bid. This is the next step in showing you how to make more points and trade in, trade up some of the items you have laying around, or maybe you don't want anymore and someone else might be able to use them. The objective here is to list your items and to be very clear and concise both about what you're listing and what you're offering to a potential bidder. The more information you give to a potential bidder, the more likely you are to get better bids for the items that you list. Now let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing you want to do is to open a Word document. I don't care whether you're using OpenOffice, whether you're using Microsoft Office Suite, or whether you're just using WordPad. Generally speaking, I use WordPad. I put that up right here at the top. I add it to my quick launch bar. You can find it on your computer under Programs, Accessories, and Word. You have Notepad or WordPad. Either one is your choice. This is included in every version of Windows, so don't sweat it. Just open something to take notes with. The reason you want to take notes is if you're going to list an item, not only do you want to inform the people who are bidding, but you want to keep track of the information that you put into the auction itself. And this allows you to go to other websites as well. Listia is a good auction site, but there are other auction sites, and it's a real good idea for you to keep track of all the information that you're putting onto an item up for bid, whether it's eBay or what have you. This way you can always go back and reference the material. Now let's go here. I've already picked an item for today. We're going to go ahead and we're going to post an item. It's a cassette box set recording of Bob Marley, and what I want to do is I want to just go through the basics of what information you want to try and include for the Bob Marley item. Obviously, you want to go to the Listia website, since we're dealing with the Listia auctions today. I want you to sign in, and then you want to open up another tab, if you will, or go to the invite friends. That's going to be later on when we're done getting all this information put into the auction. But you do want to click right here on list an auction. Okay. Once you get to the list auction page, you want to start adding information about the item. You should have an idea of about what you want someone to pay for the item. In the case of an open bidding auction site like this one, you can set the minimum. If you click down here on the advanced features, this may not be available to you for the Get It Now option. That usually comes after you've placed a few items on the Listia website. Don't sweat it. It will appear if you add items and you follow through and start making points on Listia. This will become second nature, and it will become a lot more fun. Now, the very first thing I like to do is I like to add a photograph of the information for the item that I'm posting. If you want to post an item, the more information you give, the better, but people are real visual oriented. If you can possibly manage it, you do want to give people something to look at. Now I've got some pictures here, and you can choose which photo you want to put up, which is going to represent the best chance for you to make a sale on this item. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one, and I'll put this one into the item. And this particular item, let's go back over here to my listing here. It is a Bob Marley. It is a box set for his album, and if you go down here, it gives you the information that I've already collected for the Bob Marley item. Now let's step down here. Okay, The Songs of Freedom by Bob Marley and the Wailers, and it is a cassette version of this, but you can take this from this website that I found. You can copy that information, and I do suggest that you copy it and then paste it. This is going to give you the basic information about what it is you're posting on your auction. Make sure that it's copied. Go up here to your title, and add this. This gives you basically the title of what it is you're offering for auction. Then you can pick what item. In this case, it can be under collectibles, DVDs and movies. I would say collectibles would probably be just as good, or music and instruments. Music and instruments, obviously, is going to definitely be in the category we're looking for, and cassette tape. This particular version is a cassette box set for Bob Marley, so you do want to do that. Information that you want to add. Any kind of information about the dimensions, about the quality, about the type of item that you're dealing with. Obviously, it's a cassette tape. It is a box set. At this point, I have enough information here to give a bidder as to what it is they want. What I haven't put in here is a review. Always remember that the more information you give, the better off you're going to be. I found this review along with a link, and I highly suggest that you add this to your description. This will give them something to read and inform them about more as far as the location. Now we're going back over here to what you're adding to your Listia auction. I strongly suggest that you add a zip code to any location that you're at. The more information you give them about where you're at, the more informed the potential bidder is going to be about what it will cost to ship it. Shipping costs can vary depending upon how you choose to ship it, and you either want to choose to ship it or not, and any conditions for shipping, any kind of special conditions. In this case, I will put in bidder will have to pay for the shipping. This gives a bidder the information they need to know. I'm going to allow people for local pickup, or they're going to be responsible for the shipping. If you don't want to cover the shipping cost, you need to spell that out in the description so people know. Okay, let's continue on. If you want people to bid on your item, you need to give them as much detailed information as you can give them. I strongly urge you to put everything relevant to the bidding, the dimensions of the item that you're selling if it's just a CD. Describe the item in as much detail as you possibly can. The more information you give somebody when they're bidding, the more informed they're going to be, and the more likely they are to bid on the item. If you're sketchy, in the case of posting something like computer memory, if you simply put up computer memory, people are not going to know what that is. If you say, well, I got a gig of memory, that's great, but that's not giving them the information. You need to include the serial numbers. You need to include the model number. You need to include every piece of information that you can possibly get about the item that you're placing up for bid. Now let's step down here. Do you want to auto relist the item? Suppose it doesn't get any bids. I strongly suggest that you repost it using the automatically relist. You don't have to. If you want to try it once and it doesn't work out for you, that's great too. I would suggest that you start the bidding at whatever you think is fair for you to go through all the trouble, both to post it and to ship it off to the people. Understand that you shouldn't try being cheap when it comes to the bidding, because all the points you get are free anyway. But more importantly, it does take time to post this stuff, and it does take a little footwork. So for the bidders out there, take exception to this and understand that it does take effort if you're going to place a bid, and it takes just as much or less effort for you to bid on an item and then pay for the shipping. So be aware if someone's asking you to pay for shipping, it's not really that unreasonable to do it. You can also place a Get It Now There option. Once you get to a certain level on Listia, this option does become available to you, and $2,000 is the minimum. In this case, they do charge you if you get to this minimum, in which case you may want to add free shipping if it's going to get you a net profit on the site. It's up to you. You don't have to, but this is just an option to entice people to get it now, which means they'll stop the bidding as soon as they reach this 2,000 points. So if you find somebody out there who has to have this item, they can bid the 2,000 points, and voila, you got an instant sale. You get your 2,000 points, they get the item. Also, you can choose the number of days that you want to post it for listing. In this case, I'm going to post it for 5. If I don't get an answer in 5 days, it'll repost itself and or give me the option to remove it. And at this point, after I've added all that information, I can submit it. Once again, A photo's worth 1,000 words. The more information you can give the people about what it is that you're offering, the better off you're going to be. Also, when you're looking at an item, it's giving you the information here at the top, and you do need to read this and understand every piece of this information here for this particular bidding. Not just on this auction, but every auction you look at, you want to check and verify the time that's left, how much it's going to cost you for the bidding, and if there is a get it now option, it's going to give you details about the item itself. If you can put a picture up, that's much better for the bidder because you're giving them more information visually to look at and will entice people to bid on your items. It gives you the current listing where you can watch an item. I strongly urge you to watch the items before you bid. Get to know what kind of interest is being generated by how many number of bids there are and how many watchers there are. Keep track of how much time is left on the auction. Make note of the shipping. If it's only local shipping available, check the details to make sure that the item is, as you can see right here, bidder will have to pay for the shipping. These are items that absolutely you need to place as a bidder, but also you need to be aware of this when you're bidding on an auction. This information is critical because if you don't inform people, there's going to be misunderstandings. You're either going to lose items or you're going to lose points. So please pay close attention to all this information. If you have questions, if you're unsure about an item, what it is, what it can do for you, if it's exactly what you want, ask questions. That's why this section is here. Make a comment, ask a question. If you find out that the person that's working with you on the bidding side of it, in other words, the people placing these items up for bid, if they're being helpful, if they're being kind, if they're giving you information, put up there and become a fan. You can fan them right up here in the top box here where the mouse is. I strongly urge you to fan people if they're being very helpful for you because they are helping you make an informed decision. I hope this video has been helpful. Please continue on. If you have any questions for me, please follow along on my videos. Ask me questions, comment on my videos, and please make an informed decision. Don't just jump in and start bidding. Inform yourself so that this can be a more pleasurable experience both on the Listia website and other auction sites. The information that I have placed in this video and on my other video are applicable to Listia, eBay, half.com, and a host of other websites. This information is going to apply to you on every single website. The basic fundamentals that I have given you are applicable to all bidding websites. It doesn't have to be about points versus money. It has to do with information you are giving to potential bidders and how you're interacting. Remember, this is a social website, so have fun, ask questions, and enjoy it. This is here more for fun than it is for making money, but you could possibly do that too. Have a great day, and thanks again for watching the video.